this workout, you might need a head block. A book will do, just something about this width for your head. We're going to start in a lying position. Come down onto your back. You can come down via your side, or you can roll down through your spine, whichever feels most comfortable. If you need that head block, if you feel that when your head is on the mat, your eyes are looking backwards instead of upwards to the ceiling, then grab yourself a block and just place that under your head. Bring your hands onto your rib cage. Feel for your ribs on the outside and breathe. Breathe into your rib cage and breathe out through pursed lips. Feel as though you are drawing the breath into the back and the outside of your rib cage. Lateral breathing in Pilates. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through pursed lips. Draw that breath wide into your rib cage. And as you breathe out, imagine that you're flickering a candle about a foot up in front of you. As you breathe out, feel the weight of your rib cage sink down towards the mat. Keep a sense of length in your spine and keep breathing throughout. Don't worry if I'm saying breathe in and you're breathing out, just breathe. Now move your focus from your rib cage to your pelvis. And I want you to find the bony parts of your pelvis. Your two hip bones here at the front, the two bony parts of your pelvis here, and your pubic bone just between your legs. And we want to find a position where those 3 points are lying in the same plane. So we're not tilting one way and we're not arching in the opposite direction. In a neutral pelvis, the muscles in your back are free of tension. And you could rest a cup of water on your lower abdomen. Bring your hands onto your tummy, just between your hips. Take that breath again, wide into your rib cage. And as you breathe out, feel the muscles just drawing away from your fingertips. It's tiny. It's a really subtle connection to the waistband muscle, the transversus abdominis that wraps around your waist. There's a sense of stillness and stability around your pelvis. As you breathe out, we're just increasing that strength very slightly by wrapping that muscle around your waist. It's a bit like tightening a belt or wrapping cling film around your waist. And that's just that muscle is going to keep our pelvis in a neutral position and keep our spine stable as we move. Take one knee out to the side. Slide that leg along the mat, turn it and bring it back in. Release and glide away. And all the time, your pelvis remains in neutral. There's no tension creeping into your neck or your shoulders. That opposite foot stays still. That opposite knee stays still, and your pelvis has headlights and they're shining straight up towards the ceiling. So there's no wibbly wobbliness of your pelvis here. It's all about stability. Take that on the opposite side. Release. Glide away. That leg can go as far away as you can while maintaining that position of your pelvis. So as that leg lengthens, Just be aware that your back is not arching away from the mat. You're keeping the relative position of your rib cage and your pelvis the same throughout. Release, slide away, and bring that back in. Just take one more on that side. Release, slide away, and bring that back in. Still focusing on the positioning of your pelvis, neutral, and the positioning of your rib cage in relationship to your pelvis. Weight it down through your rib cage and a slight curve in your lower back. Bring your arms down by your sides. And then bring them up and over your chest. Reach your arms back behind you and then circle. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Keep this going. As your arms reach back, think about the positioning of your rib cage. Try not to let your rib cage pop up towards the ceiling. Keep it flush to your hips. Arms reach up, back overhead, and then circle around. Take that in the opposite direction. Scoop around and then down with your arms. But the only thing that's moving here are your arms in your shoulder socket and not your torso and not your rib cage. Last one. Arms circle around and bring that down to the side. Just check that you're still in that nice neutral alignment. There's a feeling of weightedness at the very base of your spine, and then a lightness through your lower back, weighted through your rib cage and long through your neck. Lift a leg to tabletop. Take a breath in and lower it. Breathe in here. Breathe out to lift. Breathe in here and out to lower. These leg lifts come with a neutral pelvis. So as we lift and lower our legs, we are not taking our pelvis with us. We are keeping our pelvis in a very still position and just moving from that hip socket. So it's a very isolated move. Breathe out to lift so that you can recruit those deep abdominal muscles on your exhalation, and then bring that down. Out to lift. Hold and breathe in, and then lower down. Just take one more on each side. Perfect. Arm scissors. Float your arms up and over your chest. Take one arm forwards, one arm back, and then return to neutral. And again, the theme is the same throughout this workout. Let your arms move against that still and stable torso. So we're keeping your waistline the same length on both sides. As our arms move, we're not letting any hitching go on around our hips. Just movement from your shoulders. So you might find that your arms cannot go all the way back without taking your rib cage with you. If that's the case, just make the range of movement a little bit smaller on those arm scissors. With your breathing, last one. Bring your arms down by your sides and come around onto all fours. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. So your back is in a neutral position. It isn't flexed up and it hasn't collapsed into this position. You might want to do this exercise near a mirror. It's quite useful to check the position of your spine. Imagine that your arms are screwed into your shoulders and your head and neck are in line with your spine. And then glide a leg away and bring it back in. Opposite leg. And bring that back in. And as you slide your leg away and breathe out, think about keeping that pelvis still and neutral and wrapping the muscles around it. So as your leg goes away, there is no rotation of your pelvis. You can reach with that leg, but feel as though the work is coming from the center of your body. The stability is coming from the center of your body. Slide away and draw that back in. Reach long and bring that back in. Take one more on each side. Slide away and bring that back in. Wonderful. And I'm just going to finish this mini workout with a hip flexor stretch. Come towards the back of your mat and take one leg forwards. Make sure that your pelvis is facing the same direction that you are and your shoulders are also square. And then let your back thigh drop down towards the floor. Reach up with that arm. So there's a slight lean forwards and I want you to feel as though you are opening up that back hip. Hold the stretch. Depending on your posture, sometimes developmental stretches such as these are necessary just to increase the flexibility of a particular muscle. And then change sides. So here we're thinking about the hip flexors, run across that hip, back thigh towards the mat, pelvis square, slight lean forwards, and then reach up. Brilliant. Thanks for joining me in this pre-Pilates workout.